Dreemen Creatives presents a debate by teenagers. Social media damages mental health of teenagers. Judged by lawyer, writer, and mentor Shruti Raval. A battle of opinions. Does social media damage mental health of teenagers or does it improve? Let's see. Respected jury, my fellow mates, organizers, and all my near and dear ones, a very good morning to one and all present here. I am Ayurda from the team leaders. I take this opportunity to present my views against social media damages mental health of teenagers. As a teenager myself, I would say social media connects me to the world, provides an outlet to learn things I otherwise wouldn't have access to, and allows me to discover and explore interests, find support when needed, and stay abreast of what matters to me. Teens never had such power. Now, what they do with that power depends on them. Just look back at the COVID era. Across the world, people were holed up in their homes with no interaction with the outside world. Imagine the mental health impact on teenagers if there was no social media, the only medium through which they could connect, communicate, and interact with the world. According to Harvard T.H. Chan School of Public Health Study, routine social media use, for example, using social media as part of everyday routine and responding to content that others share is positively associated with all three health outcomes: social well being, positive mental health, and self rated health. Emotional connection to social media, for example, checking apps excessively out of fear of missing out, being disappointed about or feeling disconnected from friends when not logged into media, is negatively associated with all three outcomes. So these findings suggest that as long as we are mindful users, routine use may not in itself be a problem. Indeed, it could be beneficial. For those with unhealthy social media use, behavioral interventions may help. We are used to hearing that social media use is harmful to mental health, particularly for teens. The findings go against of what some might expect, which is intriguing. We know that having a strong social network is associated with positive mental health and well-being. Social media may provide individuals with a platform to overcome barriers of distance and time, allowing them to connect and reconnect with others. This study found out that the way that teens are using social media may have more than an impact on their mental health and well-being than just frequency and duration of use. Teens can now do incredible things to make a world a better place. Gitanjali Rao, age 15, rose to fame after she was selected Time's first ever Kid of the Year. She used social media to tackle issues ranging from contaminated drinking water to drug addiction and cyberbullying. And her mission is to create a global community of young innovators to solve problems world over. Is this even possible without social media? I personally wouldn't have been an accomplished jewelry designer if I had not followed other designers on social media. Teen authors have sold millions of copies via social media. As teenagers begin to use tools such as Instagram, Snapchat, Twitter, and even YouTube, they are learning the responsibility that comes with the power to broadcast to the world. From here on, my friend and teammate Krishna will speak. Over to you.
Thank you, Arda. And here are my views. So, for those people who believe that social media isolates, it might be hard to believe that social media provides genuine support. Whether a teen is interested in an unusual subject that isn't considered cool or is grappling with sexual identity, or social media can validate a marginalized child. Societal teens can even get immediate access to quality support online. One example occurred on a Minecraft forum on Reddit, when an entire online community used voice conferencing software to talk a teenager out of committing suicide. If social media is evil, how did 2,000 students protest their school system's budget cuts? How did they organize a national school walkout day to protest gun laws? How did the teens are leading to charge against cyberbullying? Easy. Savvy use of social media. Some teens may grapple with depression and anxiety and blame it on social media. Research by Pennsylvania State University has found that unpopular teens are more likely to make comparisons with someone who seems better in some way, more with someone popular or wealthier. Research studies have found unpopular teens get less positive feedback on their posts. That may happen because they simply have fewer real life friends and fewer online connections, or it may have to do with the types of things those teens post. These peoples are more likely to post about unhappy events than happy ones. Together, these factors can lead to low self esteem and symptoms of depression. Social media is here, it's not going away, it's not passing fad. So, parents should make sure that they are nurturing the positive aspects of social media, teaching their kids how much to share, as well as discussing the dangers. So, by doing, they will help their kid develop social media skill set, a skill that will ultimately help them in the years to come. Thank you. And now from here, my teammate and my friend Darren will continue.
Thank you. Teens need to be educated that every time they post a photo or update their status, they are contributed to their own digital footprints and personal brand, which is going to be there forever. Post something and measure your impact on humanity, not in popularity. Never in history before we did have so many teen millionaires, nor we did have the opportunities social media has presented to teens. 17-year-old Matthew David, whose net worth is $3 million USD, found a fame in YouTube. Or another example is Jacob Sartorius. Started at age of 12, made fortune on the app Musically. His net worth is millions of dollars. One might argue teens waste time online gaming, but look at Kyle Boga at just 17. He is a professional gamer, YouTuber, and Twitch streamer from the United States. His estimated net worth is 7 million and counting. Param Jaggi, multiple patent holder in early May last year. Param Jaggi was scrolling through Twitter and Instagram when he noticed that the hashtag done with 2020. Instead of posting a meme, decided to buy the domain name of the phrase, and in no time came up with a card game called Done with 2020. He sold them and pledged a PRT to charity. He used this opportunity to earn as well as to contribute. Who knows? You could follow in the footsteps of Gitanjali Rao, Avi Shriftman, who launched a homemade website to track the movement of coronavirus. The motivational speaker Ravi Novak or inventor Param Jagvi or used their experience as inspiration to do something completely new. To sum up, social media is a tool. How you use it depends on you. It is technology that revolutionized society, brought the world to our fingertips. Some might say there are certain problems that came into the picture. But frankly speaking, it's not the fault of social media, but the people misusing it. For example, a knife can be used to cut vegetables, but if you take the knife and murder someone with it, is the knife's fault? Does that mean we should stop making knives? Definitely not. I believe that challenges with social media can all be solved with our collective effort, and it is all going to take us to a better world. I wish to end this with a quote. Start creating the change you want to see in the world. Thank you for listening.
So all of them have spoken for 8 minutes. I guess.
Yes,
done
all
with
of
their
them,
first-
all of them have spoken.
Okay, they're done with their first speech. Okay.
Another teams, the guy is having some problem joining Zoom. He's still struggling with it. In the
Yes.
meantime, Divit, you can continue.
Good morning, my teammates, judge, and the audience. I, Divya Chopra, will be presenting my ideas in the favor of the topic Social Media Damages Children's Mental Health. Social media is an online service, platform, or site that focuses on building and reflecting of social networks or social relations among people who share interests or activities. Some famous sites are Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube. Social media is considered to be one of the most harmful elements of society. Teenagers are prone to be addicted to social media, which is quite common. This addiction hampers with the academic performance of a student as they waste their time on social media instead of studying. It can also affect their mental health. Spending too much time online can lead to social isolation. Since the inception of social networking, the quality of conversations has dropped. Social media has become a hindrance in the way of social emotional connection, be it the wishes on special days, expressing one's feelings, everything has been limited to textual content through social media, which results in a lack of personal feelings and connections. As social media has grown more available to everyone with a connection to the internet, people have become increasingly susceptible to be hacked. In the past several years, more studies have linked social media to poor mental health. As teens use social media has grown over the past decade, so too has the suicide rate among young and younger people, with suicide now being the second leading cause of death among those ages 10 to 34. Many have suggested that social media is driving the increased suicide risk. Through annual surveys from 2009 to 2019, researchers tracked the media use and patterns and mental health of 500 teens as part of the Flourishing Families Project. They found that while social media use had a little effect on boys' suicidal risk, for girls, there was a tipping point. Girls who used social media for at least 2-3 hours per day at the beginning of the study when they were about 13 years old and greatly increased their use over time were at a higher clinical risk for suicide, for risk of suicide as emerging adults. Teens waste a lot of time on games. PUBG, for example, is an extremely violent game and has led to game addiction. Players are reported to be less socially active. It has disrupted their sleeping pattern, and those players become violent with their family members, leading to social distancing between their family and them as their family is scared of them. This affects their mental health. The game significantly interferes with the personal studies. Teenagers who should be studying are wasting their time playing this game. As a result, studies are neglected and concentration levels are low. This is because their brain activity is slowed as a result of their PUBG mobile game addiction. A 9th class student allegedly committed suicide after he lost in the PUBG game. Prabhu played the game, which has been banned along with his friends. Unable to digest his failure in the online game, he reportedly resorted to the extreme step by hanging himself from the ceiling of his house. This is the impact of social media on mental health of teenagers. Social media can also affect on our vision, which teenagers hang on to social media for a long time on their devices. It affects their vision. It has been proved that blue light emitted by our devices has a negative effect on our eyes. Thank you so much for listening.
No problem. We'll continue with Divit.
Yes. Now team A will ask questions to team B. So Ayurda's team, Ayurda, Dairen, Saindeep, you have questions. And Divit, it's a challenge now. You have to answer their questions.
Okay, ma'am.
I'm sure you'll do it.
Do you advocate the banning of social media?
Rephrase
Yes,
the question.
I do.
Good.
I want social media to be banned because in some severe cases, people have committed suicide. They have died because of the intense use of social media.
But if we ban social media, we wouldn't be here discussing on this topic today. You wouldn't be able to communicate with your friends.
We can also communicate with our friends by going to their house also. Not all time social media is necessary.
What about during the COVID times?
We can also send letters to our friends.
Okay. So why do you think there are only negative aspects of social media? Aren't there any positive aspects?
There might be some positive aspects of social media, but the negative aspects have so many things in them. Like because they have lost their vision due to this. Some have got bad hearing because of listening social media, listening posts and watching videos daily on social media. And some have committed suicide, as I told you earlier.
That's because of overusing. There is no self-control. If you maintain self-control, you wouldn't have these issues. It's not because of social media.
Okay, so she asked the question about self-control. Do you have any counter argument for that?
Self-control can be difficult in teenagers also. It can be hard to control themselves.
Even if
I have another question. Can social media ruin the path to success for young people that are using it to learn new things?
Yes, I think because social media will damage our brain a little bit, you can say, or more due to the overusing. But if they want to learn something new, some part of the brain would be damaged and they will learn it, but after 2-3 days, they will forget it automatically.
But what if they use it as a complement? Like they take a class and then go home and see videos about it and then study with a paper. Can social media damage them?
we cannot have opportunities without social media.
One question also raises that how will you study during pandemic if there is no social media?
Ma'am, our parents can help us in studying. Our parents at home, they can help us studying at that times.
Like in what ways they will help you?
They will help us by we will just read the chapter and then ask them the questions that what we think we don't understand, and then they will tell us, and after that we can write questions on our own. The questions are also written in the book and we can write answer from the chapter and learn.
But what if you don't understand the book and you need other resources?
If we don't understand the book, then I will ask my parents that.
But what if your parents don't know about the topic?
Not all parents have the time.
During the pandemic, all the parents had the time.
What about
For their
working from
children.
home?
What, can you please repeat?
When parents are working from home,
When parents, they're not working for the whole day, they will have some time left for their family to eat food. They will have some time.
but not all parents are educated. They don't know our topics.
Question round is over. Now the judge will be asking questions to team A and team B. Your question round is over.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay. So first of all, really, I'm so happy that you all have prepared so well, and you all are really brilliant. And you all, the way you all can just stretch, you all have researched and you all have stretched your mind and bring out some amazing points. I'm really very happy. So now, first of all, I have to ask questions to team A, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So you all are saying that social media is good for teenagers' mental health, right?
Yes.
My question to you, all three of you, is tell me any three things, okay, that social media has personally benefited you. Forget about the world, okay? I want to know from you, what are the three things that has benefited you personally from social media?
The first is that I himself tried when I don't know how.
Yes, let him speak. Then I'll come to Ayurveda.
When I have a confusion in converting usual form into expand and expand into usual, then I use the social media and then I write the question there and it explains very well to me and I'm still learning from there. The personal benefit.
That was the first benefit. I am telling you to list three benefits. Any three benefits?
Yes, this first I have told.
You can tell all together. All of three you can say together.
So I have been making jewelry, and I wouldn't myself have been an accomplished jewelry designer if I didn't follow other designers online on social media or how to make jewelry. And the second thing is when I have science projects. I don't understand science topics really well, so I search it up online on social media to see how it's done.
And which is the third thing?
And during COVID times, I need help with history because I don't understand history that much over here. So I use social media to understand. I even use social media to ask my friends if anytime I need help.
Okay. Darren, what about you?
For me, social media, the most important one is that it helps me learn French, because over here we need to learn French to be able to study. And the second one is it taught me how to use the sewing machine. So now I can make my own clothes. And the third one is for school. I can ask my friends for any help with my homeworks, and especially in math.
Okay. Understood. Okay, my second question is any one of you can answer, okay? Ayurveda, Sandeep or Darren. Is that you, I think all of you quoted good examples that, okay, XYZ person has so and so net worth and is doing so good on social media, which definitely boosts their confidence. Now, my question is, out of 10, how many good examples you will find? Like you have to, if you have to say, okay, out of 10, how many good examples you will find and how many bad examples of social media users you will find out of 10? Do you think that those examples that you quoted are very rare?
Out of 10, I think it would be like a 7 would be really good, because they can teach us how to do things and how they got their fame and their money. And like in our school, we already have a girl who has a lot of followers and has jobs because of that. And she's really happy, and for me, she helps me with stuff.
Okay, are the any views about like majority, are the majority ones getting benefited, or it is the minor number of few people who are getting benefited?
I personally only look for good examples. That's what inspires me. And I think from the majority would like be benefited.
Okay. Great. So now my question is that you all have given stress to one point, that is it helps you all in studies, right? You all have taken that point. Apart from studies, any other point that you can bring on? Any other point that you can think of apart from studies?
When you're really stressed, it can really help you like to focus less on that thing that it's bothering you, and it can help you find new hobbies and like be more relaxed and that kind of stuff.
Okay, Arida, apart from studies, any other benefit?
Business
Of
for
how
businesses.
it affects your mental well-being, how it contributes to your mental well-being?
Can you repeat the question?
Like how does it contributes to your personal mental well-being apart from studies?
Well, it inspired me. I found out more things to do through social media. And like, for example, business, I even draw. So I need inspiration. I go on social media to see what I can do. And I also released my own book. So it gave me a platform where I can release my book.
Great. Okay, Saidi, what about you? How it has
Yes.
contributed to your personal mental well-being apart from studies?
Yes. Besides studying, social media can also help us in building social networks, online communications. Yes. And one more thing that if there's
I will beg to stop here. You have to ask question to Divit's team also, and we are running out of time.
Okay. Now I'll ask questions to David. David, are you listening to me?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so first of all, I would like to congratulate you because you have a good voice, and the volume is really good. You were very clearly audible to me.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay, so now you brought points of like studies, how it negatively affects a student, like their studies, how the suicide rates have gone up, how the gamers like they're addicted to games. Apart from these two, three major points that you brought out, any other point that you can think of, just broaden your mind, and any other thing that you can think of.
Ma'am, they stop talking to their families and talk to their not also real life friends, but social media friends which they made online, and they keep chatting all day, just sitting in the corner and not talking to anybody else.
Right. Okay, so your like team A question you about the time management thing, right? So what do you think about that? Like how can a person control addiction? My question is, are people able to do it? People just say that okay, you need to control,
Yes, ma'am.
you need to like, are people able to do it in real life? Are they able to control themselves?
Yes, ma'am. Some people are able to do, but most of the people cannot have self-control over them so easily. So they just begin using social media more and just saying that I will do it later. I will just do it. They just keep using social media daily and just say that I will do it later. I am self-controlling. I have reduced.